We just got a report that said that Polygon Matic has now entered into the top 10 of altcoins that have been accumulated by Ethereum whales. Now, because of this, the price is surging quite substantially, with it setting new higher highs in the local scene. And I want to give you guys an update of exactly what we should be looking for and how this may play out over the long term, because we very well may just be getting started. So with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. So looking at a chart of the analysis of the top 100 Ethereum whales on Ethereum's blockchain, we can see that Matic has now entered into the top 10 holdings of Ethereum whales and accumulations for 2023. You can see the average amount of Matic held by the top 100 ETH whales is $766,000 worth, which is roughly 767,000 Matic. Now, there are some held above this, like Wrapped Ethereum, Bit, Locust, Staked ETH, Best, USDC, SHIB, USDT, and Ethereum. All of these relatively expected, but the fact that Matic has now worked its way up from where around is like 18 and 19 not that long ago, about a month and a half ago, all the way up to top 10, shows that this is the one that is moving the fastest of all of these altcoins here, and that is a fantastic sign. It just goes to show that the people with a lot of money see that there's a lot of potential, and they are willing to put their money where their mouth is by accumulating. And so with this, things are definitely getting very interesting. As we can see here, Polygon Matic's price is surging, currently sitting at about $1.09, pushing up towards $1.10, and starting to work past some of those fears that we had just in the last video. Now, if you remember in the last video, my biggest concern was that it felt like we were trying to put in a head and shoulders pattern here. And as you can see, we were putting in our highs for this right shoulder exactly where our left shoulder topped out at. And so I told you, if this double top plays out, right, and we double top right here at this previous left shoulder, boom, and we come put in a right shoulder, and we get this capitulation down to the downside, we are in a situation where Matic's price could capitulate 30 to 40%. That was on the table. And I said that the only way that we can do it is if we get above $1.10, and at least for a second, we're capable of breaking these highs right here. And that's exactly what is happening as we speak. You can see here that Polygon Matic's price is at about $1.10 now and pushing crazily over the last few hours. And because of that, I am quite confident that we are now out of some of those fears of this massive head and shoulders pattern pushing us down towards 50 or even 40 cents. Now, I'm not going to lie, whenever a crypto does go quite vertical like this, especially considering the fact that although we have not put in the top yet on the daily charts, as you can see here, we've not put in the top yet, so it's not confirmed. It doesn't seem like we're going to make it all the way up here. And so this does start to look to me like this bearish divergence is playing out on the daily charts. That is typically a warning sign that we are going to get some type of pullback. But I do believe that at this given point, even if we do pull back, we're probably out of the clear, and we're probably not going to come back to revisit these range lows unless crypto just absolutely capitulates and Bitcoin goes back to $14,000, $13,000. I think Matic is just inherently and intrinsically growing in value so much recently that it just doesn't really make sense for it to come back to where it was in, say, September of last year, because it has grown in value since September of last year. So looking at this, now that we have completely cleared this left shoulder range, I am again confident that this larger correction to the downside is probably not going to happen. And it, like I said, it still could, but I think that the risk versus reward is starting to favor the reward more than the risk. It seems like this is less likely to happen now. So overall, what am I looking at this given point? Well, of course, we are still teetering with this within this 618 to 786 range right here. And as you can see, let me get that pulled up. Sorry about that. We can see here that we are now in the 618 to 786 range. The 786 level is at $1.16. So that obviously does become our next point of resistance. That is where I would expect us to get rejected from. And that is our new goal. If we get above $1.16, I do believe we are in a position to come back up and clear this previous range high at about $1.31. But I honestly don't think that would happen before we would get at least some type of short-term pullback towards some of these lower levels and really let this daily RSI reset. As you can see, we are still pretty extended. We're at the about 70-42-ish level for the daily RSI, and again, displaying bearish divergence. And so because of that, it just does seem to me like a pullback is likely, but at the same time, you can never count Matic out. And so I would just be looking for $1.16 to be cleared before expecting that we're about to set some real new higher high. Now, overall, fundamentally, this also is very, very, very exciting for me, because I do believe that this is exactly where Matic should be. As you can see, Matic tried to make this move before. before. It already tried to make this move back above $1 and hold it, but what happened is that the FTX crash kind of ruined that move. It kind of started to just force us straight to the downside and took a lot of the wind out of our sails. But as you can see here, Matic saying, you know what, screw that. We don't care about FTX. That had nothing to do with us. We're still growing. We're still getting bigger. We're still getting better. And as you can see, that has now led the price to start to really be able to work its way back up to some of these higher levels and recapture $1 at this given point. The reason why $1 was just so dang on important was, first and foremost, it is a very, very substantial psychological level, but it was also the point in which we put in some support last September, or September 2021, which, if you remember, 2021 was a horrible month. We got nothing but red, and that's where we bottomed out at. So obviously a massive point of support could easily get flipped into a massive point of resistance, but Matic wasn't having any of that and started to work its way up past it. So like I said, again, there is still the bounds of this thing, you know, seeing some type of correction. It could correct all the way back down to this lower trend line, somewhere around 80 to 85 cents. That is within the realm of possibilities. But overall, I do believe the likelihood of us seeing some type of larger correction to the downside off of this head and shoulders is starting to go away. And so with that said, major congratulations to all of you Polygon bulls. And yeah, I think that this is fantastic. Now, before we do continue into the video, I wanted to make sure that you guys did remember that we are doing a campaign with Prime XBT on the channel right now. If you do sign up with the link down below, you can get discounts on your fees, you can get 7% cash back on your deposits, and you can also get up to $7,000 in deposit bonuses, all by just signing up with that link and making a deposit on Prime XBT. They have margin trading with very, very low fees and the discount that I provide, but also you can copy trade, so you can copy other people's trades and do all types of things on their platform. So make sure you do go check it out, because that campaign is ending very soon. But overall right now, I definitely would say that if you're looking to buy Matic, it's still a fantastic time. I said that throughout this entire time, that dollar cost averaging on Matic is a good idea. Now, going long on leverage, I still don't believe it is the best idea, especially right now with this bearish divergence playing out. I think the best thing to do is that if you are looking for some type of long trade on higher leverage, I would be at least letting this thing see more of a cool down at some of these higher levels. This thing is not going to go vertical. At least I don't believe so. It is going to have these moments where it goes sideways, it pulls back 15-20%, and that's the time where I would be going in on a more leverage trade with a stop loss. Okay, so right now, while it's going straight green, I wouldn't just chase this pump. I wouldn't just chase this straight up and start leverage trading, because you never know when something like this is going to happen and we're going to get this pullback all the way back down to maybe even, you know, $1. We might come all the way back down to retest $1. That is very likely, and that's 10 to 15%. And if you're on too high of leverage, you'll get liquidated just by a move of that nature. Right now, I would be still dollar cost averaging perfectly fine, but high leverage trades, I definitely wouldn't go too crazy. And that also includes short trades. I think shorting Matic, ever since we got that Disney news and ever since Matic started to really see some forward progress, I've been saying that shorting Matic just does not seem to be a good idea. Obviously, you could make some money in some of these short trades, but in the long term, the likelihood is that Matic will see some growth, even if that takes a while. I do believe that it will see higher highs. I do believe it's going to lead the altcoins in the top 10 in the bull run, and I do believe that it is going to see a new all-time high within 24 months. And so because of that, shorting it, it's just a risk that I wouldn't be taking personally, okay? So overall, that's my update on Matic right now. I'm looking for $1.16 to get cleared. That is the Fibonacci 786 level, and once that happens, we are then in a position to then reach our new local high, right? If it doesn't happen and we get rejected, expect us to fall towards $1. If we lose $1, coming back down towards 92 cents also isn't out of the question, because we could come back to retest some of these previous lows, establish a stronger base of support before looking to continue back to the top side, okay? So overall, things are looking absolutely fantastic for Matic, and I couldn't be happier. Now, I will be providing another update on Matic tomorrow, but that is going to be over in the newsletter, so make sure you do go to the first link in the description, you subscribe to the newsletter. All you have to do is enter your email and press subscribe, and you will receive tomorrow's edition of the Crypto Catch-Up, where I provide market analysis, technical analysis, my thoughts on everything going on, news, and so much more. But if you guys did enjoy today's video, make sure you do let us know by simply liking it so more people see it, and subscribing so you never miss another one. But with that said, I will see you all next time. Peace.